We're on.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Never
Smalls, you
know what
look
time.
good. You look good.
Uh,
You got
yeah.
like a halo going on the screen.
All I know is back, baby. Duke, Duke to lose, Duke to lose, baby.
Do you
All
have
right,
a do you have a shade? You must have the shade open or something. You
I
got a
love it. It's
line
like
through
a
your thing
halo.
there. The
It's like
sun
a
must
it's
be
like a
coming
reverse
through.
halo. You got the
Yeah, it
solar
must be the
the
sun in
solar
the room. The
eclipse.
sun is
You
hitting.
got an eclipse going on right through the middle of
Pull the shade down.
there used to be a song, Total Eclipse of the Sun. Let me see,
Smalls.
Mark left some.
What a big
Carla.
week.
Oh, I
What
got
a
the
big
account
week.
back. All right,
You
what is
gotta say, oh, it's your light above
Vinny, you're right. Why do
it's
I
a
have a
light above your head, I think. There you
I
go.
don't know where you are in
That's
your
okay.
room or something.
Oh, you're right about that.
As long
All
as we
right.
don't see your
Yeah, just
ear or your
sit to your left or right. You'll be all right.
coat.
Oh shit, what the hell's this?
So
All right.
So let's get it started. Obviously, the
Keep it
big
like
game of
I
the
don't
week.
know.
We were all
Oh
over
my
at
god.
Post, my old stomping grounds, and the big game with Notre Dame, number one, playing the Ivies, number 10, Cornell. What a game! I mean, it was a very very high level, back and forth. Never really that far of a lead for either team. I think Cornell only had the lead maybe once where they moved ahead. Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
but they
2
closed the gap quick.
first
It was a
quarter.
battle throughout.
6-2
You
was
know,
was
came
the
down
score
to
in
the
the first
very
quarter.
end. They score with 6 seconds to go, and number one stays number one. But I think Cornell, to me, Cornell showed they're the team. You know, they're going to be there. You know, they're going to be a tough out. Any team having to play them, in the tournament, I wouldn't want to have to draw them. And the other thing I would say is Kirst is an absolute beast. This guy is shooting missiles. And
I agree with the first three teams right now, from what I've seen on the field. Now I've seen games, but I've seen on the field, Hurst is the best player in the game right now. Maybe along with a few others, but right now, what I've seen, Hurst, along with the Irish Twins, are right now the best players in the game,
I think
along
he
with a
made a
few other
name for
guys
himself
from
for
other teams.
Tawaraton. He
But I
definitely
think
moved
they're
up the
right
list.
there. I think
I
they're
think
right.
after that game for sure. Kirst, I think Kirst was kind of lower down the list. To my mind,
Oh,
he's in the top 3 or 4 now,
yeah.
in my opinion.
Oh no, Vinny, you couldn't play with these. I love you, Vinny. You're an all-time great of yesterday. I do love you. 4 times. You couldn't first today, Vinny. I hate to say it. I love you. And you're one of the greats, but not with these kids today. They're too fast and strong. These kids are unbelievable today.
Well, I'll just say this: I thoroughly enjoyed the day. From I thought that the venue was great. The people running it, Corrigan Sports, did a masterful job. The weather, we got a little rain right before the half. The temperature dropped like 15 degrees. It looked like we might have been in for a rough second half, but it blew past, and the second half was great. The tailgating before the game was great. They're traveling pretty far, but they got some following because they had a ton of people there supporting their team, Cornell, who we obviously know a lot more players and families from the Cornell group, a lot of close friends, and
What I tell
everybody
you,
Great
turned out.
barbecue.
what I tell you, I think the
What about
secret to
that
the
rock
rock burger
burger? That's
was. Do you
rock.
remember?
Hey, what's
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, Joe Lizio was a.
I'm telling you, I think the secret is I think he puts lamb in there.
Oh, but the best hamburger I've ever eaten in my life, man. Oh man,
I don't know what
I
he's
don't
got in there, but
think
it takes
they
a
did that.
while to cook, but it's worth it. And he was a champ on the grill. I mean, he stayed on that grill the whole morning, right until he walked into the game, and then he went right back to the grill when the game ended, like a trooper, and made more food for everybody. So that was great. It was great seeing the Rusty
He
Red
went from
guys. The
CEO
guys,
He went from a
what?
CEO to the biggest hedge fund on Wall Street to making rock burgers. This
He was
guy's a
doing his
legend.
thing. We
What a
had
humble.
we had Smalley got to see some of the guys he used to roam the sidelines with back in the day. The Crowley brothers, Dan Crowley and Matt Crowley, showed up. Kevin Cook, Levittown buddy. Then you had the Marinos, Massapequa, two stars from Cornell with another superstar from Hopkins. Uh, uh, we had we had Mike O'Neill, yes, and then we had Brian Conroy, another national champ from Cornell. So all in all, it was very exciting, and you couldn't ask for a better game. I mean, it was like if it was scripted, the way it went back and forth, and the way the other team. Yes, Notre Dame opened a little bit of a lead, and then Cornell fought back, but it was definitely a playoff atmosphere. And I said it after. I think those are the kind of games you're going to see from the quarterfinals on through the national
Oh,
championship this year.
I agree.
I think teams are that close in terms of their abilities.
Let me just put one thing that I think could change going into the playoffs. I'd like to see this kid. This kid should be on man up. I know it's crazy. The Goldstein kid. I would put him on man up. That would give him a couple percentage points or whatever to really rock. I think he could score really, really fast and quick on man up. I would put Goldstein on man up right now for the last game and then carry it into the playoffs. They had to make a couple little fun changes, and I believe they can win it all too. There's no reason why they can't win it.
Well, they got
They
to
took
play a
this
lot better
team
defense. They
to
give up a
six
lot of
seconds
goals.
to
They
score a
give up
goal
too
and
many
beat them.
goals.
3 goals and 3 assists.
They give up way too many goals. I don't know. I just thought that they came to play a neutral site game. It was exciting, but the other big talk of the day, since that was on Sunday, was Duke handling Virginia for the 19th straight time in the regular season, which is hard to believe that a team could be, team Duke's great, and so is Virginia. I mean, you had
Let's
to
talk
have,
about
when
why
you
it
say
is. You
19
called them
straight
out.
years, there's
You
been
called them
some
out.
national
You called
championship
them out.
Virginia
You called
teams
them
in those
out.
years.
You insulted them a little bit. A little bit.
Little bit. I did say they didn't compete. I didn't think they competed hard enough against Notre Dame. I did say, I have to say, I said something that Zawada had slowed down, and he had a great game the other day. O'Neill was not involved enough. He got himself involved. Their attack overall. I don't know. I think they had probably I don't know 12 goals between the three guys on attack.
Right.
So they got a lot of production out of their attack. The
Final score.
final, I think, was 18-12, something like that, 18-12. But, that I'm not so sure that score is totally indicative of, the two teams. I don't know that Duke is head and shoulders above them. It had a feel of like the game getting away from Virginia. I think they have some injuries, but they definitely have to, they're going to have to figure out Duke because they may see them be. They may not get as far as Duke again. We'll see. You got the ACC tournament. I mean, these teams are going to be battling each other. It's like I said last week, it's like we go play on weekends, pick up basketball, and you choose up teams. And one week you beat up on guys, next week they beat up on you. Just, you know, but in college it's
But
different. You got to show up every
does
weekend. And
I don't
clearly
think the
Duke
loss hurts
had
Virginia
something to
that
prove.
badly. Obviously, they
They
only
had
got
something to prove, and they did. No, I don't think they. I think they still maintained like a number 3 or 4 spot. I think they're 4 in the. I always use the
yeah.
coaches poll.
Inside
The
lacrosse got
coaches poll
Virginia
came
down to
out today,
4.
and I think Duke went back to number 2. You got Notre Dame at 1.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, I mean, look, you have Hopkins is at 3. They won a game, but that's a game they easily could have lost to a team who's right. And I think Ohio State, I'm not sure. They could be outside the top 20 right now. So they just as easily could have lost that game had they lost where they'd be. But, what matters is W's. It doesn't matter. You could win ugly. You could win by 1. I mean, all those things. I guess teams, the most important thing is to try to stay healthy down the stretch and try to, maintain, find depth because I heard that one of my reports I got from out west with Georgetown losing to Denver, that the altitude, and I think they were leading that game, and they ran out of gas. The altitude, and it was very hot out there this weekend, and they ran out of gas, and Denver ended up winning. Which is a big win from that Big East conference. We talked about it. We said maybe
I think those two
Denver
teams, assuming one of them doesn't
and
lose
Georgetown would
in the
be
first round of the
playoff
Big East
participants, but we'll
tournament.
see. Yeah, if they play each other in the finals, I think they end up both of them get in. They got quality wins, both of them. So that was interesting. Then I'll go over to on Saturday the Carolina Syracuse game. Syracuse again, they look like world beaters. Look like that rested them well. They still didn't have their coach. He had to serve, I guess, a one-game suspension after being thrown out of the game the prior game. So, but they had time to work, get their offense, and they were clicking. They were clicking early. The other team came out hot. Carolina, I think, took a 3-0 lead, and then I think Syracuse went on like a 7-0 run to take a 7-3 lead. Then maybe they scored one more. I think they got to 7-4. Then I think got to 10-4, and it looked like 10-4 over and out. But meanwhile, Carolina ended up making a run, scoring 5 goals in a row, and making it a game. They actually had the ball. At the end, the guy came out of the box and caught Duffy. Duffy didn't realize the guy was trailed out of the box and checked him. That was the last chance they would have had. But, so Syracuse held on, which puts them in good shape. I think that, you know, uh, I think that it would have really had Syracuse lost at Carolina, it really would have set up a game with them in Virginia. They got room for error now, even if they lose. Duke is who do they have left? They're
If
playing
Duke lost to North
North
Carolina,
Carolina.
they'd be
They
1-3
can't
in the
they
ACC.
can't get
So
upset
they,
because that would
Notre
be a
Dame's
disaster for
2-0 in
them.
the ACC, and Syracuse is 2-1. So those teams have 2 wins. Well,
Right, but if
you
Carolina
better
beat
start
them,
calling
they
them
would
out,
get
because
the.
maybe
I'm
that might be
assuming
the
they
only
get
way
the
they take
the
down
the,
one
the,
of the
the
Titans.
seed for the
Because
ACC playoff.
look, they're a young team.
And
They're a young team. Unfortunately, in a conference that has
yeah,
5 killers like that, somebody's going to be in 5th place, and they're looking like the 5th place team. But they can be a spoiler. They certainly can put it together, and maybe but they got tough. They got to
yeah,
play the tough ones now. They got to play Virginia, and they got to play Duke. So you know, there's a few more weeks.
yeah.
Games for the playoffs. What do we have? What are we talking?
Well, we're just talking about the conference tournaments right now, but clearly, the top 10 teams, 10 to 12 teams, have been the top 10 to 12 teams all year. And they're fighting for seeding position at this point because, obviously you don't want to play the
Well, let me
top
ask you this:
teams right away.
Syracuse. Now,
But,
Syracuse has the big game this weekend.
if you have
Virginia
to, you have
up
to. You
up
play
in
who
the
you have to
dome.
play.
The Paul Gate should be a lot of excitement up there. But then they have no other game on their schedule. They're done. I know, but is that a good thing to have that far of a stretch off
No, they go.
before
That's their
you
last game. They
playing
play. That's their
NCAA?
fifth. That's Syracuse's 15th game. I guess maybe they figured. They already had this 11-day
Yeah, it starts
stretch. They
in
played a
May.
game. They'll play another game. Then they got another. What I think it's only the next week is the tournament. After that, isn't it? It's only a
Game.
week.
That seems like a
I
long.
think. Yeah, but so they got the game this week. Oh, this is their last game. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're gonna have another stretch again. Well, listen.
Are we going
Whoever
to the game?
designed that. What's that,
That's
Smalls?
Like to
the
go to the
game.
game or what? Can we
I don't
make this
know. We're
game?
gonna
Can we
have to
fly
check.
in
We
there?
have
Come
to check
on.
the schedules on that for that
I
road
don't
trip.
know.
Fly in for the game.
I
Fly.
don't know.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Jimmy Muley called in. He said he's ready to take us to dinner if we show up there.
Jimmy, you see this today. I'm going. Then I got to see this. I got this, and I'm waiting. Oh man.
Yeah. So those are the games. Those were the big games. Ohio State had a shot to knock off Hopkins. They had a lead. Hopkins came back, took a 1-goal lead. Ohio State tied it, went into overtime, and the kid Collison, the big guy, came through again. You're Bobby courtside, but Collison is the overtime man. That's 2 games in a row he won. He scored in overtime to give them a
beat
win.
Rutgers.
So look,
No,
I
Rutgers.
mean, no
They
matter what these
pulled away
rankings,
from
look at these
Rutgers.
games. You
I will
got
say
one
this
goal
about
games
Maryland.
back and forth.
Of
Maryland
all
had a
the
good
teams,
game.
and
Who did
I
Maryland
thought
play?
high
They played
level of
somebody.
Notre Dame and Cornell, but Maryland moves the
Penn
ball
State.
faster than any team I've seen in the
Oh,
country.
Rutgers.
That ball is flying around, and the guys are all moving. They play well with each other, but they just, to me, it's they don't have if moving it around is fine, and they do some nice plays, but
Yeah.
if they need a goal and they got to throw it in a guy's stick,
Wow.
I don't know which guy gets that for them, but they got the face-off guy. The goalie's playing better. The D is solid. They move the ball well. I wouldn't want to play them in the play. Don't take them lightly when it goes deep.
No, like I said, those
The other
top
thing
10
about
to 12
Maryland,
teams,
like Smalley
Army,
says,
you
they've
throw
got the
them in the mix.
coach.
They've beaten some
They've
good.
got the coach.
You're going to be, if you're higher seeded, you get a home game. If you're lower
Oh yeah.
seeded, he's great. He's prepared. There's one thing he leaves no stone unturned. He's going to be prepared. So it's exciting. It's exciting. I will say, Virginia looks a little nicked up. They're missing people. I think one kid's out for the season. I think there's a couple guys banged up.
They
They got to get
struggled a little
healthy.
bit
They
up at
don't look
Harvard a little
that
bit.
deep to me.
In that game.
And
So
I was surprised, how their defense played the other day because we were at the Cornell game, but I came home and watched it. Yeah, it's funny. Some of these teams. Listen, you talk about struggling Saturday. So I'm watching I'm looking at the scores. Princeton ended up getting knocked off by Brown. Right, that was a tough loss for them. They made a comeback, but Brown held on, won the game. And I put another game on, Yale Dartmouth, which we're going to the Yale game tonight. But Yale was up. Yale was down. I'm sorry, to Dartmouth at Dartmouth. I think it was either 5-1 or 6-1, and I was like, they must have this score backwards. But no, Dartmouth was beating them 6-1, and then they reeled off 19 goals. Yeah, I think they put up 20 spot. When they get rolling, they can really score. So. But
This kid Brando.
what's that, Smalls?
What is this? Is this kid on the same scale as the
I don't
Irish
think he's
twins?
on the. I
What's
don't think
going
he's
on
on the
with this
list.
kid, Brando?
I have in my mind. I think they're
he's.
right now four
I
guys.
think he's one of the front
O'Neal,
runners for the Tawaraton.
Pat
There's
Kavanaugh,
probably 5 or 6, and he's up there.
Schellenberger, and Kirst.
He's
Those are the
he's
guys
excellent.
I see.
He's.
Yeah,
I said top
I don't
5. I
think I'm
put him
getting
5.
far
Then.
enough for him to win.
But
Listen, if they go to the Final
listen,
Four or the championship game,
one thing's for
then
sure.
I
He's
think
a scoring machine.
obviously he would be
He's
right.
leading the country in scoring
Yo,
and points per game.
No, he wants to win.
Well, we always
He
say
probably
that,
won one already.
you
He
gotta
probably was on
you
the
gotta
team
be
now.
in the mix, I think, to keep your name in there for
I
those
think
kind. I don't think he's
he
worried
might have been a
about
freshman on
awards.
that team.
I think that kid, he wants to win.
But
Is his last shot
Smalls looks
at
like
winning something.
Smalls looks like he's looking for a snack.
I don't remember if he was on that team that won it. Could be. I don't know. He's
You're
getting
going
hungry.
You're
These
going in and out
long
because of your
talks
phone
get
a
him
little
hungry.
bit, I think,
You hear
because
me?
of I don't know if you're on the Wi-Fi.
you can't hear me, right?
Uh-oh, he's silenced.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Oh, he's pinging
Now we can.
satellites.
You
Smalley
can
in
now?
space.
No, we got a delay. We're getting a delay.
It says reconnecting.
Oh,
Every
boy.
Oh boy.
now. How about now?
This is ground control to
Wow.
Major
I thought
Tom.
you had the greatest
Now.
internet in the
You
world. Now you're looking
really
like
made
Vinny's
the
net
grade.
zero internet.
Where is Smalley?
I'm fucking.
He's an astronaut.
Am I on?
You're on now, yeah.
Fuck! I got 32 computers, 32 iPhones, and I got nothing.
Let me see.
I got
let
a
me
little
pull up.
red
I wanna
phone that
pull
people
up the
laugh at
conference.
with
Let
a
me see
heart
if I
on it.
pull up the
Fuck
conference standings.
money I spent on these
Show
fuck
you
these
that.
kids. Throw them in the
Let's see.
basement.
How do I get to that?
All about kids today. Throw them all in the basement, man.
He got tightened up. He definitely got tightened up. So here is the on the right. You see the ACC standings.
Game, I'd like to
So
make
Got a
the
nice
see that
haircut
that's
though, didn't
pretty
he,
tight
Steven?
there. You know,
Oh,
Notre Dame's in control
Yeah, he got a
of
nice
their own
haircut.
destiny. I think I said
There I go
Carolina had to
again.
play Virginia, but they don't. I think they played them already. They got to play Notre Dame, and so you know,
Right.
I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna finish off for them. If they could, if North Carolina could come up with an upset, they would definitely throw that whole
No,
conference into
they got to play
tizzy.
Notre Dame and they have to play
But
Duke.
I don't know that one win in the top four.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to see North Carolina. That'd be big.
Well,
Oh, that's a big win, bro. Can you hear me or no?
I hear you.
North Carolina.
No, listen, they
Like
could
Vinny
play.
says, easy, take it easy.
Look, they're not only looking to maybe play
Well, no, they
spoiler.
got to go in
They can win
believing,
the
but that
ACC
would be,
tournament. I wouldn't give up hope. Think that maybe you gotta think positive. Take it easy, but listen, if you don't believe in yourself, who the heck's going to believe in you?
Come on.
Well, they played Syracuse
You
for a
see
one-goal game.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You never know. Maybe the young guys come to
she
play.
better
Maybe
save
it's
your
like you're
internet.
not a freshman anymore when you get to the end.
Hey guys, the coach on the screen. The GOAT is here. Shay, you coming to the Yale game? You can bring the dog, the service dog.
Is
Oh,
Cheryl
he's
Smalley
pinging off
showing
his
up? He's
satellites
showing up
all over the
tonight.
place. What did you do to your internet?
Oh yeah, the GOAT's in.
You're
Oh,
frozen
good.
up all over.
Now I'm happy. At least we got Cheryl coming.
She walked the dog.
I don't think he's on his Wi-Fi. I don't think you're on your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, he might not have his.
Get me on, hon.
He's just on his cellular service.
Joe, get me on. Get me on.
He doesn't know what day it is. What are you talking about?
Oh,
Oh yeah,
she
Rich.
said, "Make me rich. Everything else will fall in place."
Yeah. And
Oh,
some things were lost.
Oh, Steven, this is good. She's right on. You know how to do it. You're right on. This is it. Wait, is it raining out?
Oh, hold on 1 second.
Can you guys still hear me?
I hear you.
I want to give a shout out while we're waiting to get on to one of the Kavanaugh brothers. Not the guys that are in college. It's a kid. Vinny, what's the kid's name?
Matt.
I'd like to give a shout out to Matt Kavanaugh, man. I thought you were a very nice guy. We were
How
walking
about
in
that?
to the game on Sunday. I just thought.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Toughest.
I thought he was a very nice guy, man. I want to give a shout out.
Seeing him
Good
play
luck
at
whatever
Lions
season
Field
he's in.
when he was a tiny little kid.
I didn't realize just a happy kid. That's I saw him as
You did?
He looked like a very nice kid.
Right, exactly. He would win a face-off and run all the way down and score. Leave his way.
I told him that today when he was playing with the Rockville Senate team. Yeah.
I don't know if we can make fun of you. Do you?
You can't even hang up either.
Don't
hang up.
Oh my God.
I'm double deuced.
I can't hang up the phone.
The goat can't hang up. Just end it.
Oh fuck.
Stop cursing.
I cursed once.
They like
curse the Kavanaugh brothers.
But anyway,
yeah, give me a shout out.
Go
Try to shut it off.
It's gonna still be here. Shut up.
Oh my God!
All right, I muted that.
All right, so
What do we have him in 2 places?
So
Shut it off.
we're gonna have to upload that other one though from the phone because you got 2 separate streams. You're in the video.
There was a little line in my screen. I couldn't get it out.
That was from the light.
It's a little light.
Oh my God!
Steven, get it up. All right, here we go. Back on here.
I don't know. All I can tell you is we walked through that crowd the other day. A lot of people said they enjoyed the podcast. I don't know what they're enjoying. I mean, we can't even say 5 words over here. This
Well,
is like
certainly, and you two
listen,
guys,
I
you're
would
more
never
boring
present
than.
this as anything. If I was back in my Chaminade high school days, this would get an F.
If I had to listen to you two guys all day, I could watch grass grow.
Oh my
I mean,
God!
come on.
Listen, I
Spice
don't
it
know
up a
what
little
you're
bit.
talking about. You talked about
Those
everything
guys, the
but
ones at Notre
lacrosse.
Dame now didn't go to
You know
Chaminade,
Mr.
though.
Kavanaugh? You know the father?
Yes. What about him?
I want to meet him, man. Let me meet these guys. They're Chaminade guys.
Right.
Did he go to Chaminade, the father?
Yeah.
That I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
Well, they're on a mission.
One of them did.
One
of them did. The other one went. I don't know if they finished Chaminade. One, I think he started Chaminade, then went to prep school, and the other guy might have went right to the prep school. I'm not sure. Yeah. Listen, they're battle tested. You better play till the last second with those guys, with that team in general, because we saw, right, Smalls, we saw Coach Corrigan as we were leaving the parking lot after the long. He must have been doing interviews because the players looked like they were all down by the bus, and he was walking through that long parking lot because they were all the way in the corner. And I saw him, and I said hello, and I congratulated him on a good win, but I said, listen, if your team scraps the way they do all the time for those ground balls, because when I came home, I watched the fourth quarter again, and there were tons of plays where they, and sometimes the ball just bounces the wrong way for you, but they make it happen. They ended up making a lot of plays where if you watch that last 5 minutes, Cornell had the ball in their stick and it got knocked out, and they had it back in their stick and it got knocked out. And, the winning goal was, I think, a loose ball type of play, and the guy picked it up and threw it up to the guy and he shot it in. It was a loose ball that, by the way, the guy who made the check to get the ball away from Cornell, the same, the football player, Faison, he made a lot of big plays down the stretch. That takeaway check, but then
he stripped Goldstein. He stripped him.
Yeah, he made a bad play when he made a bad play when he threw it over Kavanaugh's head. He went to do a throwback and he threw it over Kavanaugh's head, and that's when Ryan Goldstein got the ball. The D guy picked it up under pressure. And by the way, I got to tell Matt Kavanaugh's going to have to teach his brother how to do the slide by the line so he gets it and you don't go over. You remember how he did that against Albany that time? Well, that's the similar kind of play his brother had at the midline. He stopped it and pushed it back, but he didn't control it, and that's how the defensive guy got it. He really should have exited the other way, but he somehow got through. They were riding him, and Ryan Goldstein presented himself, and he got the pass. And as he caught it and he started running across the midfield line, there was the guy on the far side that was, the guy was open. He probably should have gave it up, but it was a short stick D guy. He decided to hold, and the kid made a good play. Yeah, the guy we call Talmo. But anyway, when it went down and they had the ball and the ball got loose again, they scrapped for it. The guy who scored the goal, the guy who was covering him, he put himself in no man's land. I'm not looking to pick on the kid, but it's a learning experience. You're not really going to be able, you're not close enough to get involved in the scrap, but you're far enough away from your guy that if they come out with it, you're going to be in trouble. And that's exactly what happened because they scrapped the kid.
More than that,
the Faison got it, and he threw it up top to that kid, and that kid made that bounce shot. You know how you shoot a bounce shot. Sometimes you bounce it outside of the crease.
10 seconds in the game.
That thing was bounced like 5 yards outside the crease. Yeah, it was pretty far. The bounce was so it was a crafty shot. He shot it hard. He bounced it right, and they made a winning play. But they tend to make. My point is,
there are teams that can do it. And let me tell you why.
They tend to make winning plays when they have to.
A team like Duke,
that's been their MO for the last few years.
could
You
do
know,
it.
so
There's these teams that
somebody's
can
going
score
to have to
because
slay the Dragons.
they're not
Somebody's going to have
stopping
to make
teams.
a
I
big
mean,
play
like,
against them
listen,
when the
Cornell
time
still scored
comes.
17
You know,
goals.
and that's
It
what it's
wasn't
going to take.
they, it wasn't like they shut them down. So, but Cornell did control pretty much all of the face-offs for the game. Yeah, it didn't seem 50-50, I tell you that.
Right. No, it ended up 50-50. Yeah, it did. It ended up 50-50. I checked the stats. It ended up 50-50. And the guy Lynch, Lynch and the other guy, Lynch
Right.
on Notre Dame from Chaminade, I think he might be a little nicked up. I'm not sure. But the kid Silos was really scrapping pretty hard. It did kind of seem, but that they had opportunity. But, maybe he got his cleaner, so it seemed like they won more. But it was 50-50. So I think if Cornell comes out the way they've been facing off during the year against some of the better teams, they haven't. I don't even think they've been 50-50. So, to be 50-50 in that game a shot. But I didn't see too many broken clears. There weren't too many of those. I think it was
Right. Where
about
he got
midway
a
through
couple
the
of
third quarter.
timeout.
Cornell started to use kind of a 10 on, it looked like, or a deep zone ride, kind of a combination. And it gave Notre Dame some problems. Remember the time Enterman had to run it over, or they would have got a violation. And he got on the side, that he used a timeout. He actually got out of it and made a pass.
The
But,
security
the
was
coach
a
couldn't
little
take the
light.
chain. I
It
don't want him to get
almost
hurt
like-
either.
It was almost
Imagine
like
the guy gets
fisticuffs
hurt
in front of
on the
us.
field and doing all of that. There shouldn't be that your goalie's got to do that to clear a ball, So
7,500 people were at that game, guys.
yeah,
7,500 people. That was incredible. Oh, there was a screaming match between the guy from Cornell, big Irish guy. He had all his Cornell gear on. He blew up. I've never heard anybody yell so loud in my life. They were toe to toe. The guy must have been 300 pounds, about 6'4". The guy from the other team, he was there. He got a little scared. The guy yelled so loud. I never heard anything like that in my life. And it dissolved itself. It looked like it was going to be a heavy war. Oh, that looked really heavy. The Notre Dame guy stood up too. He was a donut away from a heart attack. That guy was a donut away.
All I can tell you is those guys with the yellow jackets, their average age was about 74, and they
did
wanted
nothing.
no part of trying to eject anybody.
Oh, my God.
Think about it. People, when they came from the
Holy
tailgates, and
shit,
the majority of the people that were there in the tailgate of,
Yeah.
Notre Dame's tailgate.
That was another.
Cornell.
I guess they figured
They
they
would have
made their
never been
money.
able
They
to
got
get in
paid
if
on
they
the
were
tickets.
sitting there
Come
looking,
in,
every
hey,
guy
who
on the
cares?
phone.
Yeah, they didn't check tickets. They knew. Well, they knew.
Forget it.
Yeah.
Because everybody hit the gate at once. It was the floodgates opened. That's true.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
But it was a big venue. I mean, the place was beautiful. The weather was good. It did rain at halftime. I have to say, it rained like for about 8 minutes. It rained for about 8 minutes and it stopped.
Weird. That was weird.
Yeah.
Was weird because
then,
not only did it rain, all of a sudden it was like a cold front blew in. It got cold. People and a lot of people ran either to their cars or try to go get something to huddle up because thankfully it didn't continue. Like it blew through and we had a very nice second half. It didn't look like it didn't even look like the wetness from the rain that did come down affected the guy.
I want to give a shout out to the Goldsteins. They got me an on the field pass. Imagine that.
Yeah.
On the field.
Yeah.
Of course. And Vinny got a pass, but he had his pocket. He never used the pass in his pocket.
Well, I was with my buddies. I was with the guys. We were having fun with Eddie Miller. His nephew, Kelleher, had 3 goals, 2 big ones in the fourth quarter. He was so happy watching them. And we were rooting for the kid. Brian Conroy was there. Ruggiero from Hofstra played at Hofstra was there. I said before, Mike O'Neill, Billy Marino, Hall of Famers, Tommy Marino. Yeah, it's great. It was great.
I'm going to make my another quest here. Here it is, guys.
And they certainly are capable of doing that. There is no question.
6 games in a row. They will not lose another game. They'll win 6 games in a row, and they'll win a national championship. They'll win it this year.
Tawarathon.
Duke will win a national championship this year. They're going to win 6-7 games in a row. And you'll look back and you'll say, oh, my God, he'll get another decathlon. Another Tawarathon.
So you got Duke all the way, and you got Brennan O'Neill with the Tawarathon Award. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly a long shot, but it won't be.
Well,
easy.
it was a part you guys were tearing them down a little bit. I didn't think you thought they might have been over, which it didn't look good. But I say they're right back in the mix, right where I said they were going to be. I'm not going to give up on them now.
Right.
I'd like to give a shout out to my boy Balsamo again, because if he catches a little fire, oh, Billy ain't going to have the spaghetti. And Balsamo's going to have me at the table. Eat that eat the spaghetti. Forget about it. Oh, man. I'll be going to Cafe Spasso from Manhasset. What's that place, Billy?
Oh, yeah.
That Italian place to
I
go?
want to show you some of the...
Not Cafe Spasso. What's it called? The one Italian place.
Yeah,
you don't tell anybody.
I know the name. I'm not giving it up.
Because obviously...
Balsamo's place.
So you got right here the
Oh,
American
man. Oh, that's going to be great.
Albany's 4-1. Binghamton's 4-1. That's a one-team conference, right, Vin? So, I mean, is Bryant, do you think look at NJIT. They started off 7-0, and they've lost 5 games in a row, every game.
That's a one-team conference.
Well, who would you say if you were going to pick a team out of that conference? Who would you pick? Albany and Binghamton are 4-1.
Listen, those are one-team
Bryant,
conferences
Merrimack,
anyway.
and Vermont.
And they got to win the conference.
I don't know how many teams they take in the tournament, but
who's the leader right now? Who's third?
I think I would take Albany also. I think they probably would win, but I would take Bryant as a long shot. I think
I don't know, but if I had to pick,
Bryant could also do it. Smalls, yeah.
I would go with Albany to end up winning that. Even I think Albany.
And then the A-Sun, Jacksonville 6-1.
Yeah.
Bellarmine's up there. Air Force is 6-0 in the conference.
I'll go with Binghamton. My brother went there. He's Dr. Smalley. He came out of there.
They're going to have a nice little conference tournament.
What's the next one?
Right. Utah's up there too.
Oh, the tournament will be close. There could be an upset, but whoever wins it is going to get in. The other teams are going to be out. They're not getting in. I would say that's a one
just
team.
because I think they got a little experience now.
I think if I had to pick, I don't know. I don't know those teams well enough.
Air Force, I'll go with Air Force.
Look at this.
Okay.
This is another one. That's Atlantic 10. Look at this one.
Down.
St. Joe's is
Who's the next
3-0.
one?
Richmond's 3-0. One of those.
Yeah.
What about Kenny Berry and PPI or RPI?
That's different league. That's division. Whatever.
Maybe they throw us, UMass and High Point. Maybe they throw a little upset.
Yeah, that's those are two good teams, and unfortunately, the loser of that conference tournament is probably going to end up out. And they may be
Richmond.
But I think
that's a one. That's a one team.
If UMass or High Point could somehow win it,
Big East.
there
You got
probably
the
would
Denver,
be some
Georgetown.
conversation for two, maybe between St. Joe's
and look at Providence. Providence, I think, is going to be in the 4 teams though.
Richmond, they're pretty tough, but I still see that as a one-team conference. Who else? What's the next? Yeah, I think they both get in.
Yeah, I think they're going to.
Yeah, they look like they're going to make.
Really, you think Georgetown is going to get in if they lose another game?
Yeah, I think if they lost to Denver in the Big East final, I think they'd still give Georgetown a bid. I think the Big East should have 2, unless they lost before the final. If they lost before the final,
then you got the Big
they
Ten.
lost to
That's
Nova
obviously
or somebody,
that's one of the power conferences.
Kate Goldberg had a big goal.
He's
breaking out, that kid.
He's doing well.
And then,
oh man, Kate, you're doing it, kid. Keep going, man.
Is it going to be Michigan?
Who else? It's not really looking like Rutgers or Michigan could pull upsets on those teams. Uh, if they happen to, somebody stumbles, Ohio State, they've been very close
Come
to
on,
games.
Michigan. I'm pulling for my guy.
Yeah,
I'm pulling for my guy, the Irish Wonder.
yeah.
Can he pull it in?
Mulholland, I don't know.
Conferences, but
they're
then you
I'm
might have
praying
to
for
rethink that
Mulholland, man.
because
Come
because
on.
then
I
if
don't know
they're a
that they got the
three-team
defense,
and
but
if the Ivy League's a
that
three-team,
that
I don't
conference
think
is
that the
probably a
ACC could be a
three-teamer.
four-team.
I think Penn State's
What?
resume is pretty good. Maryland and Hopkins. I think you could
We're
get three.
not quite there,
Yeah.
but this one is
Three
CAA. You
team
got
leagues?
the
That's a lot.
Hofstra Conference. That's Towson and Delaware are the stronger teams right now in it.
I don't know that the Ivy League's a
One
three-team.
team.
I'm not
Okay.
sure. I mean,
And then you go to the Ivy League. Then you got the
no,
Ivy
that's
League
a
right
one.
now.
That's a
Yale and
one
Penn
team.
are at the top of the Ivy League. Cornell is up there too.
Yeah.
That fourth spot is
Yeah.
like open.
I think it's a one-team league. Yeah. Who's next?
I like Townsend there.
I said, but you can't if they're a three-team league and the Big Ten is a three-team league, the ACC can't be a four-team league.
That actually could be, that actually could be a three-team league.
That's three teams in there. I'll pick.
Which that I think is gonna. That's why I think that.
Nah, I don't think so either. I mean, listen, they got to play
Then-
if they. I think
No, then
obviously the
be
thing
a
you got to
three-team
do is make
league.
sure you
Yeah,
get
that's
to
what's
the,
going to be
the tournament
interesting.
championship.
That's going to be RPI head-to-head, strength of schedule.
Yeah.
Who's
I
got
think
travel.
Syracuse might get knocked out.
I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, you got to at least win the. Yeah,
No,
at least
Sticks
got to
is
get in the
staying home. He's
ACC
gotta
tournament.
study.
That's the start of it.
He's got
And
the MAC.
and who's
the
after
You
MAC
guys
that?
go to the game tonight?
Sacred
going to the
Heart
Yale
is
game?
8-0.
The Yale game,
Post is
Hofstra,
up
we're going to have
there.
to root hard for Hofstra. They're going to have
Quinnipiac.
their hands full tonight with Yale.
Steven, you coming with Sticks?
Yeah, I think this one.
Okay.
I
Got
think this is a
homework,
one
that
team
kid.
too. To be honest, after look after Army, you got BU has got
No,
5
that's
losses.
a one
Colgate's
team.
got
The
5
team
losses.
that's
Navy's
interesting
got
that
5 losses.
is that
Lehigh
Patriot,
and Loyola have 6 losses.
and they got like 5 teams with the same record, don't they? 4 teams.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're looking at probably one team from there could maybe have to come out of there. Even though that would be, I would be willing to bet that if somehow Army did
That's
lose
an
in their tournament
We need a
and they
producer to
didn't
go
make
look
the
those things
playoffs,
up. We can't.
the NCAAs because they didn't win theirs, I would bet that it's never happened that a team that was number 1 in the country at some point didn't make the playoffs. I bet that's never happened before. Yeah, we need what's the
Starving?
guy on ESPN?
You're thinking of
What
rock
do they say?
burgers. That's what you
Kimbo.
have on your
They
mind.
got the guy Kimbo or Hembo. We
Yeah, I'll
got
come to the
Smokey.
game, yeah.
Kimbo
He's a
Slice.
combination of both of them.
The combination, yeah.
Oh, you
Some
went to
combination.
your
I'm looking to get
Carolina.
something to eat. I'm starving. I'm
Yeah.
fucking
There
starving.
you go. That's a good.
All right,
Oh, that burger.
let's leave. Steven, you coming to the game with me? All right, so let's leave now. Smalls, you can meet us. We'll go to Qdoba. Let's give Qdoba the Fracaro
Yeah.
family's restaurant, one of their places.
We'll go meet at Cordoba.
We'll get a nice bowl.
No,
Back
yeah.
to snacks. This is
Where
all
the one?
this guy
Where
talks about
what
is
place?
snacks.
Where we go? What?
The one on Hempstead Turnpike. We're going to
Okay.
Hollywood. So if we leave,
Okay,
we
the
can get
one in
there all
Massapequa.
at the same time.
No, what I want to know is
All right, how do we wrap?
Do you
How do we
think
wrap it up? What's
could've
Vinny? What was your
beaten-
go-to
if
meal
we
after? You,
chalked out a
let me
line,
get
could
guess
you
gave
you
me
guys.
those-
Michael
meal already.
Neal in a 50-yard dash right now.
What was your go-to meal after the Hofstra game when you?
He's crazy
Yeah,
with food.
you.
Forget the food.
I love food. I'm a food guy, man.
The guy is a legendary player, and you're looking at him and you're like, well, I would have made second team from the looks of you. What are you kidding me?
Who? Me?
Wally.
After I took a big shit.
Oh God.
The race on halftime of the I want to see.
I look at all you guys. Listen, you're not superior athletes. You're regular Joe Schmoes.
I'd want to see.
You white slow
you
guys.
on the
Come
turf
on.
At halftime, I want to see you do the 50.
Really, I would, if I played 10 years of lacrosse,
the guy that
I
was
wouldn't be able to do
having fun.
anything in the game.
Would you
Yeah.
beat
If
him
I
in a
woulda,
race?
coulda, shoulda.
I'd be a first team All-American. Ask Bonnie, get Bonnie Ellerwan, and ask Bonzo. I'd be a first team All-American.
Yeah, okay.
Look at this guy.
Don't go there. That guy looked like that. All right, let's wrap it up. I'm ready to go for my meal.
Let's go to
Who do you want to
Qdoba.
give a shout out today, Vinny? Who's your guy? Pick a guy you haven't seen. It's near death. Pick a guy.
Near death. Oh my God.
I mean, but anybody, pick it.
I don't want to. Don't say that. You know.
Exactly.
Oh, I'll give a
Pick a
shout
guy.
out to
Mr.
Mr.
Zawada.
Hine.
You pick
I
Mr.
saw
Zawada
Mr.
out
Hine
today.
today. I picked up the tickets for the game tonight. I got the sweet tickets,
Amazing.
courtesy of Chris Hine.
All right.
You got your box
There's
tonight.
another
You
week
got your
in the
I
tickets
want to
book.
give a
coming.
shout. Oh, I got to get my tickets. I want to give a
Later
shout out to
in the
Chris
week.
Hine. That's true.
Yeah, I'm
Greatest
giving it
guy.
to
He's
Mr.
like Minnesota
Hine. I saw
Pats.
Mr. Hine today. Looked good. He's back in training. 90 years old.
Oh, man.
He's working his legs. He looked good.
All right, it's 1:45. We better get going. 5 o'clock.
All right.
How long
see
it
you
take
at
you to get
Qdoba.
there? 5:30. I'll see you in a half hour.
All right.
Signing off.
Bye-bye.
Love you guys. Love you.